Ambassador Alan Collins stood in front of the big glass windows of his office on the Luna base. Earth hung in the black sky, blue and green and beautiful. He watched it and thought about the 7 billion people who lived there. They trusted him to keep them safe. They trusted him to speak for them to the many alien races of the galaxy. For 20 years, he had done his best. Today, that job would end. Ambassador, the council is waiting. His aide, Olivia Martinez, stood at the door. Her dark eyes were tired. No one in the Earth government had slept much in the last 3 days. Let them wait, Alan said. He straightened his plain gray suit and ran a hand through his short white hair. They've made us wait for justice for 50 years. Olivia nodded. She carried a small silver case that held proof of what the Vraxian Empire had done to the new Denver colony. The pictures of the burning buildings, the bodies of men, women, and children in the streets. The Vraxian ships clearly seen in the sky. Do you think the council will help us this time? She asked. Alan turned away from Earth and looked at her. No, he said simply. They never do. But this time we don't need their help. They walked together down the long hallway to the council meeting room. Guards from 6 different alien races stood at the doors. They all looked at the humans with different eyes. Some with 6, some with 1, some with strange organs that were not eyes at all but could still see. The guards moved aside. The doors opened. Alan and Olivia walked into the huge round room, where the Galactic Council had met for 10,000 years. 12 alien representatives sat at a round table. Each one was from a different race that helped run the galaxy. Some looked almost human. Others looked like bugs or lizards or things humans had no words for. They all watched as Alan took his seat, the small seat at the side, not at the main table. Humans were not full members of the council, even after 50 years. The Vraxian representative, Hive Commander Kuzcatal, clicked his hard outer arms together. He looked like a 7-foot ant standing on 2 legs. His black eyes showed nothing. The council thanks the human delegation for coming, said the head of the council, a very old alien named Ilana. Her skin was almost clear, and you could see her blue blood moving in her veins. We understand you have concerns about events at your colony. Concerns? Alan's voice was quiet, but everyone could hear the anger in it. 7 human colonies have been attacked in the last 10 years. New Denver is just the latest. 3,000 people are dead. The Vraxian Empire is sorry for these sad events, Kuzcatal said. His voice came from a small box on his chest that changed his clicks and whistles into English. But these were not our soldiers. They were pirates, or rebels. Not our fault. Alan looked at Olivia. She stepped forward and put the silver case on the table. She opened it and took out a small glass ball. This is a data ball, she said. It has videos from New Denver. It has pictures of the Vraxian ships. It has proof that these ships are from the Vraxian Third Fleet. It has messages between the Vraxian ships talking about the attack. The council members looked at each other. None of them reached for the ball. We will need time to look at this new information, Ilana said. Alan stood up. His face was red now. Time? How much time do you need? 50 years ago, Earth joined the galactic community. We signed your rules, we limited our weapons, we shared our medicine and our art and our music. And in return, you promised to protect us. He pointed at the Vraxian. They have killed our people 7 times. Each time we bring proof. Each time you do nothing. Please sit down, Ambassador Collins, Ilana said. This is not how the council works. We must follow the proper steps. The proper steps, Alan repeated, while our people die. He reached into his pocket and took out a small black device. He pressed a button on it. What is that? Asked one of the council members, a big rock-like alien. I just sent a message to Earth, Alan said. I told them to start Operation Firewall. The council room got very quiet. What is Operation Firewall? Ilana asked. For 50 years you have treated us like children, Alan said. You gave us rules about what ships we could build, what weapons we could have, where we could go in space, and we followed those rules because we thought you would be fair. We thought you cared about peace. He looked at each council member. But we're not stupid. We saw how you let the Vraxians break the rules. We saw how you ignored our dead. So we made plans. What plans? Kuzcatal demanded. Operation Firewall is now turning on all the defense systems we built in secret, Alan said. Around Earth, around all our colonies. We have ships and weapons you don't know about. We have technology you haven't seen. The council members began, talking all at once. Some stood up, some were yelling. This is against the Galactic Accords, shouted the rock-like alien. Yes, Alan agreed. Just like killing our people is against the Accords. The difference is we're not hiding what we're doing. He took a paper from his pocket and put it on the table. This says that as of right now, Earth and all human colonies are leaving the Galactic Accords. We are taking back our independence. You cannot do this, Ilana said. No race has ever left the Accords. We just did, Alan told her. You have 24 hours to get all council people out of human space. After that, we will treat any of you in our territory as enemies. You are making a big mistake, Kuzcatal said. The Vraxian Empire will not let this happen. Alan smiled for the first time. Try to stop us, I want you to try. He turned and began walking to the door. Olivia followed him. Ambassador Collins, Ilana called. Please, we can talk about this, we can make a new deal. Alan stopped at the charter and looked back at them. For 50 years, all you've given us is talk. Humanity has reached its limit. He and Olivia walked out. The guards looked confused. They didn't try to stop the humans. As they walked back to their ship, Olivia asked, Do you think they'll attack us now? Yes, Alan said. The Vraxians will. They think we're weak. And the council? They'll talk, they'll argue, they'll make plans, but they won't help us. Then we're alone, Olivia said. Alan shook his head. We've always been alone. Now we're just being honest about it. Their ship waited in the docking bay. As they climbed aboard, Alan looked at the council building one last time. What happens next? Olivia asked. War, Alan said simply. But this time, we're ready for it. The ship's doors closed. The engines started. They left the Galactic Council behind and headed for home. On Earth, soldiers and ships were getting ready. Weapons that had been hidden for years were coming out. Shields were turning on around human planets. Humanity had been pushed too far. Now the galaxy would learn what humans could really do. Admiral Susan Reynolds stood in the control room of Earth's main defense station. The room was large, with screens on every wall showing different parts of space around Earth and its colonies. 50 men and women worked at computer stations, their faces serious. Susan was tall with short gray hair. She had spent 30 years in Earth Space Forces. Now she was in charge of protecting humanity from what was coming. Status report, she said to her second-in-command, Gary Wilson. Gary touched his screen and a big map of the solar system appeared on the main wall. Small blue dots showed Earth ships. Yellow circles showed defense stations. Red dots were starting to appear at the edge of the map. The Vraxian ships are coming, Gary said. 3 big groups, one heading to Earth, one to Mars, and one to our colony at Proxima Centauri. Susan nodded. This was what they had expected. How many ships? 250, Gary said. Big ones. Attack ships with lots of weapons. People in the room looked at each other. Earth only had 100 ships that people knew about. Susan smiled. Turn on the Titan ships, she ordered. Gary pressed some buttons. On the map, more blue dots started to appear. A lot more. Soon there were 500 blue dots. What's happening? Asked a young officer at one of the stations. For 20 years we've been building ships in secret, Susan explained. We hid them in the rings of Saturn where the council sensors couldn't see them. Now it's time to use them. The people in the room started to smile too. They weren't going to lose this fight. What about Project Avalon? Susan asked Gary. Gary touched his screen again. A small part of the map got bigger, showing the area around Neptune, the far blue planet. Ready, Gary said. We haven't tested it in a real fight, but the lab tests worked perfectly. Good, Susan said. Keep it secret until I give the order. I want to surprise the Vraxians." On the other side of Earth, William Foster stood in front of the United Earth Congress. 500 men and women from all parts of Earth sat in a big room. Screens on the walls showed billions of people watching from their homes. William was the head of Earth's Defense Department. He was not a soldier like Susan. He was a politician, the person who told the Congress what the military was doing. "For 50 years, the Galactic Council has treated us like children," William said. "They told us we could only have small ships with small weapons. They told us where we could go in space. They told us what we could build." He touched a button, and the screen showed pictures of new Earth ships and weapons that no one had seen before. "But we didn't listen," William continued. "We pretended to follow their rules. We showed them what they wanted to see. But in secret, we built real defenses. We made new technology they don't know about." A man in the Congress stood up. "Can we win a war against the whole council? They have thousands of worlds. We only have Earth and a few colonies." William nodded. "A fair question. We don't want to fight the whole council. We just want to be left alone. To show them we are serious, we need to defeat the Vraxians. They are coming to attack us now." "How will we do that?" asked a woman in the front row. "With this," William said, and the screen showed a picture of a small black box. "Project Avalon, a new kind of weapon. It doesn't kill. It doesn't destroy ships. It just stops them." He looked at all the Congress members. "The Vraxians think we are weak. They think they can hurt us and the Council will do nothing like always. Today they will learn they are wrong." In space, the Vraxian ships moved closer to human worlds. The Earth ships moved to meet them. The Vraxians were sure they would win easily. They had more ships. They had bigger weapons. They had been fighting space wars for thousands of years. They did not know about Project Avalon. At the colony on Proxima Centauri, the fight started first. 50 Vraxian ships came out of deep space, ready to attack the small human settlement. Only 10 Earth ships were there to protect it. Hive Commander Kazikatal was on the Vraxian main ship. He looked at the human ships on his screen and made a sound like laughter. "Humans are stupid," he said to his officers. "They send 10 small ships against our 50 big ones. This will be easy." "Sir," one of his officers said, "the human ships are doing something strange." On the screen, the 10 Earth ships had formed a circle. Blue light connected them to each other. "It doesn't matter," Kazikatal said. "Fire all weapons." The Vraxian ships fired energy beams at the Earth ships, but before the beams hit, the blue light from the Earth ships got very bright. Then it shot out in all directions like a wave in water. When the blue wave touched the Vraxian ships, all their lights went out. All their engines stopped. All their weapons went quiet. Kazikatal hit buttons on his control panel. Nothing happened. He tried to call the other ships. No one answered. A face appeared on his screen. It was a human woman in a uniform. Admiral Susan Reynolds. "Hive Commander Kazikatal," she said. "Your ships are now stopped. They are not destroyed. Your people are not hurt. This is Project Avalon. It turns off all technology it touches except for life support. Your people can breathe, but they cannot fight." She smiled. "We could have destroyed your ships, we could have killed your people. But humans are not like Vraxians. We don't kill when we don't have to." Kazikatal's hard arms clicked together in anger. "This is impossible. No one has this kind of technology." "We do," Susan said. "For 20 years we built it in secret. We have many more surprises, if you force us to use them." Her face got serious. "You have 2 choices. Leave human space and never come back, or we will use Project Avalon on your homeworld and turn off every machine your people have." The screen went black. Kazikatal stood in his dark ship. For the first time in his life, he felt fear. On Earth, the news of the victory at Proxima Centauri caused big celebrations. People filled the streets, cheering and waving flags. The same thing happened on Mars and the other colonies. In the control room, Susan watched the Vraxian ships being towed away by Earth ships with special shields that Project Avalon couldn't affect. "Send a message to the Galactic Council," she told Gary. Tell them what happened here. Tell them that we don't want war with anyone. We just want to be left alone. But if they attack us, they will all end up like the Vraxians. Gary nodded and sent the message. Do you think they'll listen this time? He asked. Susan looked at the screen showing the dead Vraxian ships. They'd better, she said. For their sake. The meeting room of the Galactic Council was not quiet anymore. The 12 alien leaders shouted at each other. Some hit the table with their hands or claws or tentacles. The news from Proxima Centauri had changed everything. The humans have weapons that break our laws, shouted the big rock-like alien named Groax. They must be punished. Your laws, said a small blue alien named Siobhan. Her people, the Tyrillians, had always been friendly with humans. The humans left the council. They don't follow our laws now. It doesn't matter, said Groax. Their technology is too dangerous. We must take it from them. The head of the council, Ilana, raised her thin hand. Everyone stopped talking. The humans beat the Vraxians without killing anyone, she said. They could have destroyed those ships. They could have killed thousands. They chose not to. Kizkatal, the Vraxian, made angry clicking sounds. They humiliated us. They turned off our ships like they were toys. We demand that the council help us fight them. Siobhan laughed. It sounded like small bells. You attacked them 7 times. You killed their people. Now they defeated you, and you want our help? Before Kazkatel could answer, the big screen on the wall turned on. Admiral Susan Reynolds's face looked at them. Galactic Council, she said. I am Admiral Susan Reynolds of Earth. I have a message for you. She pressed something, and the screen showed the space around Earth. Hundreds of human ships were there. Then it showed Mars with more ships and big guns on the ground. Then it showed human colonies on other planets, all with strong defenses. For 50 years, you made us follow rules that you didn't follow yourselves, Susan said. You let the Vraxians attack us again and again. You did nothing to help us. The screen showed the Vraxian ships dead in space, being pulled away by human ships. We don't want war, Susan continued. We want to be left alone. But if you attack us, we will defend ourselves. Project Avalon worked on the Vraxian ships. It will work on yours too. The screen went back to Susan's face. You have a choice. Accept that we are free now and leave us alone, or fight us and lose. The screen went dark. The council room was very quiet. Then Ilana stood up. We need to vote, she said. Do we accept that humans are free from the council? Or do we fight them? 7 council members voted to accept that humans were free. 5, including the Vraxians, voted to fight. The vote is done, Ilana said. We will send a message to Earth. We accept their freedom. Kazakatal stood up, his black eyes shining with anger. The Vraxian Empire does not accept this vote. We will fight the humans alone if we must. You will lose, Siobhan said quietly. Kazakatal looked at her, then at the other council members. Maybe we will, but not all of you want humans to be free. Some of you have been working with us for years. Everyone looked confused. Ilana stepped toward him. What do you mean? Ask the Groorvik and the Palaxians, Kazkatal said, pointing at Groax and another council member. Ask them what we have been doing with the humans we took from the colonies. Then he walked out of the room, the door closed behind him. What was he talking about? Ilana asked Groax. Groax didn't answer, but he looked scared. On Earth, Admiral Susan was talking to Ambassador Allen and Dr. Olivia in a small room with no windows. The council has accepted our freedom, Susan told them. 7 members voted for it, 5 against. And the Vraxians? Allen asked. They say they will fight us alone, Susan said. But they're scared now. They won't attack soon. Olivia was looking at a small screen. I'm more worried about what Kazkatal said at the end of the meeting. She showed them the video from the council room. They listened to what Kazkatal said about taking humans from the colonies. He said took, not killed, Allen said slowly. What does that mean? I don't know, Susan replied. But I'm going to Find out. A week later, a small ship arrived at Earth. It was not a human ship, but it sent friendly signals. Earth defense ships met it and brought it to a space station. When the doors of the ship opened, Siobhan the Tyrillian walked out. She was only 4 feet tall with blue skin and large purple eyes. 2 human guards met her. "I need to talk to your leaders," she said. "I have important information." They took her to a room where Alan, Susan, and Olivia were waiting. "Thank you for meeting me," Siobhan said. "After the council meeting, I did some research. I found something terrible." She put a small silver ball on the table. It looked like the one Olivia had shown the council. Siobhan touched it, and a screen appeared in the air. "The Vraxians have been taking humans from your colonies," she said. "Not just killing them, taking them away." The screen showed pictures of human men, women, and children in small rooms. They looked scared. Vraxian scientists were standing over them, doing tests. "Why?" Alan asked, his voice shaking with anger. "The Vraxians are dying," Siobhan explained. "Their children are born sick. They can't have as many babies as before. Their race is getting smaller every year." She touched the ball again. The screen showed Vraxian babies, many of them dead or very sick. "They think human DNA can save them," Siobhan continued. "Humans are very good at living in different places, in different conditions. You can eat many kinds of food. You can breathe air that would kill other races. The Vraxians want that strength for themselves." "So they're experimenting on our people?" Olivia asked, looking sick. "Yes," Siobhan said. "And they have partners. The Groorvik and the Palaxians have been helping them. They get new technology from the Vraxians in return." Susan stood up, her face hard with anger. "How many humans have they taken?" "Thousands," Siobhan said sadly. "Many are still alive." "Where are they?" Alan demanded. Siobhan touched the ball one more time. The screen showed a map of space with 5 red dots on it. "These are the places where they keep the humans," she said. "All in Vraxian space, protected by their military." "Why are you telling us this?" Olivia asked. "Why help us?" Siobhan looked at each of them. "Because what they're doing is wrong. Because my people believe in fairness. And because 7 races have now left the council. We are forming a new group, one based on real peace and respect. We want humans to join us." The 3 humans looked at each other. Then Susan turned to Siobhan. "First, we're going to save our people," she said. "Then we can talk about a new group." Siobhan nodded. "I understand. And I can help you get into Vraxian space without being seen." Alan reached out his hand to the small blue alien. She took it in her own 3-fingered hand. "Thank you," Alan said. "This changes everything." "Yes," Siobhan agreed. "The galaxy will never be the same." The room was dark except for the light from the big screen on the wall. 20 people sat around a long table. They were the leaders of Earth's military and government. They all looked at the screen, which showed the 5 places in Vraxian space, where human prisoners were being kept. Admiral Susan Reynolds stood at the front of the room. Next to her was Siobhan, the small blue Tyrillian who had brought them this information. "Operation Homecoming starts tomorrow," Susan said. "We will attack all 5 Vraxian bases at the same time. We will save our people and bring them home." Man at the table raised his hand. "How many prisoners are we talking about?" "At least 3,000, Susan replied. "Maybe more." "And how will we get to these bases?" asked a woman with gray hair. "They are deep in Vraxian space. Their defense systems will see us coming." Siobhan stepped forward. "That is where I can help. My people have technology that can hide ships from Vraxian sensors. We used it in the last war against them 500 years ago." She held up a small green crystal. "This will make your ships invisible to them. We have enough for 20 ships." William Foster, the defense coordinator, looked worried. 20 ships isn't many. The Vraxians have hundreds." "We won't need hundreds," Susan said. "We'll use Project Avalon. Our ships will get close to their bases without being seen. Then they'll turn off all Vraxian technology. Their weapons, their computers, their doors, everything." "What about our people inside?" asked Olivia Martinez. "Won't Project Avalon hurt them too?" "No," Susan explained. "We've improved it. Now we can set it to only affect Vraxian technology. Human technology will still work. Our rescue teams will go in, free our people, and bring them out." "What if something goes wrong?" William asked. Susan's face got serious. "Then we have Plan B. If we can't rescue our people, we'll use the new version of Project Avalon on the entire Vraxian Empire. We'll shut down every machine they have. Their ships will stop, their cities will go dark, their farms will stop working. Their medical systems will fail." The room got very quiet. "That would kill millions of Vraxians," Olivia said softly. "Yes," Susan agreed, "but they've been kidnapping and experimenting on our people for years. They need to understand that we won't allow that, not ever." The next day, 20 Earth ships left from a secret base on Mars. Each ship carried 50 soldiers in black armor. The ships were painted black too, so they were hard to see in space. On the side of each ship was a picture of Earth with the words, "Operation Homecoming" under it. Siobhan went with them on the main ship. The green crystals she brought were installed in each ship's engines. When the engines started, the ships disappeared from all sensors. They could still be seen with eyes, but in the darkness of space that was very hard. The ships traveled for 3 days to reach Vraxian space. They moved carefully around Vraxian patrol ships and defense stations. Finally, they reached the 5 bases where the human prisoners were kept. 4 Earth ships went to each base. When they were in position, Admiral Susan gave the order from her command station on Earth. "Begin Operation Homecoming," she said. "All teams go." At each base, the Earth ships turned on Project Avalon. Blue waves of energy shot out from the ships and hit the Vraxian bases. All the Vraxian technology stopped working. The bases went dark. The doors unlocked. The guards couldn't use their weapons. The Earth soldiers went into the bases. They carried special lights and weapons that still worked. They found the human prisoners in small cells and medical rooms. Many of the prisoners were sick or hurt from the experiments. Some had been there for years. At one base, a young soldier named John found a little girl in a cell. She was about 6 years old with dark hair and big eyes. She was very thin and she looked scared. "It's okay," John said, kneeling down to her level. "I'm from Earth. I'm here to take you home." "Home?" the little girl asked. She sounded like she didn't remember what that word meant. "Yes, home," John said. He held out his hand. "What's your name?" "Kate," she said quietly. "I'm Kate." "Nice to meet you, Kate," John said with a smile. "Let's get out of here." He picked her up, and she put her thin arms around his neck. John carried her out of the cell, past the frozen Vraxian guards who couldn't move or speak without their technology. All across the 5 bases, similar scenes happened. Earth soldiers found human prisoners and took them to the ships. Some prisoners could walk. Others had to be carried. A few were too sick to move and needed special medical pods. 2 hours after they started, the rescue teams had found all the prisoners they could. They went back to their ships and took off, still hidden by the Tyrillian crystals. In one base, the Earth soldiers found something important before they left. It was a room full of computer banks with data about the experiments. They took all the data with them. 3 days later, the ships returned to Earth. The news of Operation Homecoming was told to all humans on Earth and the colonies. People cheered in the streets. Families waited at hospitals to see if their missing loved ones were among those rescued. In a secure room, Olivia Martinez and a team of scientists looked at the data from the Vraxian base. What they found made them very angry. "We need to tell the Admiral," Olivia said, her voice shaking. She went to Susan's office with the most important files. Susan looked at them on her screen. "Is this true?" Susan asked, her face pale. "Yes," Olivia said. "The Vraxians didn't just take humans from the 7 colonies they attacked. They've been secretly taking people from Earth too, for 30 years. Thousands of people." "How?" Susan asked. "We would have known. They took people from small towns, from places where people might not be missed right away," Olivia explained. "They made it look like accidents or people running away or getting lost in the woods." Susan hit her desk with her fist. "And they've been doing tests on all these people?" Trying to use our DNA to save themselves? Yes, Olivia said. But there's more. The Grorvik and the Palaxians weren't just helping them. They were getting human test subjects too for their own experiments. And guess who knew about it all? Who? Susan asked, though she looked like she already knew the answer. The Galactic Council, Olivia said. At least the 5 members who voted against our freedom. They've known all along. They let it happen. Susan stood up. Get me Alan Collins, get me William Foster, get me the president. We need to meet now. An hour later, they all sat in the same dark room where they had planned Operation Homecoming. The Vraxians, the Grorvik, and the Palaxians have been stealing our people for 30 years, Susan told them. The council knew about it and did nothing. Everyone looked shocked and angry. What do we do now? The president asked. Alan Collins looked around the table. We have 2 choices. We can use Project Avalon to shut down their worlds, like we planned if Operation Homecoming failed. Or we can tell the galaxy what they did and let everyone decide if they want to be part of a council that allows this. I vote for the second option, Olivia said. Let the truth come out. Let everyone see what the council really is. The president nodded. I agree. The truth is our best weapon now. Then that's what we'll do, Susan said. And then we need to talk to Siobhan and the other races that left the council. It's time to build something better. 1 month after Operation Homecoming, Ambassador Alan Collins stood in a new meeting room on the space station orbiting Earth. The room was large and round, with a big table in the middle. Around the table were 14 chairs, all the same size. No chair was bigger or more important than the others. The walls were made of clear glass. Through them you could see Earth, blue and green and beautiful. The room had been built this way on purpose. Everyone who came here would see the human homeworld and remember what humans were fighting for. Today was an important day. Representatives from 14 different alien races were coming to this room. 7 of them had left the old Galactic Council with humanity. 6 more had never joined the council, but wanted to be part of something new. And the last one was Ilana of the Melosians, who had once led the council but now came alone. Alan straightened his simple black suit as the door opened. The aliens walked in one by one. Some looked almost human. Others were very different. One looked like a cloud of purple gas, another like a walking tree. Siobhan the Tyrillian smiled at Alan as she took her seat. Last to enter was Ilana. She looked older and tired. Her clear skin showed blue veins that looked darker than before. Thank you all for coming, Alan said when everyone was seated. Today we begin something new, something better than the old council. He touched a button, and a screen appeared in the air above the table. It showed pictures from Operation Homecoming. The human prisoners being rescued, the data about the experiments, the proof that the council had known about it all. Humanity left the council because they didn't protect us, Alan continued. Then we found that 5 council members were actually helping hurt us. They let the Vraxians, the Grorvik, and the Palaxians take our people and do experiments on them. The aliens around the table looked angry. Many made sounds of shock or disgust in their own languages. We sent this proof to every world in the galaxy, Alan said. Now everyone knows what the council really was. Ilana spoke up. Her voice was soft but clear. I came here today to say I am sorry. I led the council for 200 years. I didn't know what those 5 members were doing, but I should have. I failed in my duty. What has happened to the council? Asked a tall, thin alien with 4 arms. It's falling apart, Ilana said. 17 more races have left since the truth came out. The Vraxians, the Grorvik, and the Palaxians have been forced out. Their leaders are being put on trial for crimes against intelligent beings. She looked at Alan. The council as it was is dead. Perhaps that is for the best. Alan nodded. Today we create something to take its place. Not a council that rules over others, but an alliance of equals. Each race will have the same rights, the same voice, and the same responsibilities. He touched another button. The screen changed to show a document titled, The Allied Species Compact. The words appeared in 14 different languages, one for each race in the room. This is our proposed agreement, Alan explained. It has 3 main parts. First, all members promise to respect each other's freedom in space. Second, all members promise to help defend each other if attacked. Third, all members promise to share knowledge and technology for the good of all. Siobhan stood up. Though she was small, her voice was strong. My people, the Tyrillians, support this compact. We believe it is fair and wise. One by one, the other aliens stood and spoke. All of them supported the new agreement. Even Ilana, who said the Melosians would be honored to join as equals, not as leaders. Alan smiled. Then let us make it official. Each representative came forward and put their hand, claw, tentacle, or other limb on a special pad on the table. The pad read their biological signature. One by one, they signed the new compact. Alan was the last to sign. As he did, cheers broke out across Earth and on all the colony worlds. Humans had been watching this meeting on screens everywhere. After the signing, there was a small party. The aliens and humans talked and shared food and drinks from their worlds. It was the beginning of new friendships. Admiral Susan Reynolds and Dr. Olivia Martinez stood with Alan near the window, looking at Earth. Do you think this alliance will last? Olivia asked. The old council lasted 10,000 years, Alan said. I hope this lasts longer, because it's built on better ideas. And we'll be ready if it doesn't, Susan added. We won't forget the lessons we've learned. Speaking of lessons, Alan said, how are the rescued prisoners doing? Most are recovering well, Olivia replied. The children are having the hardest time. Many were born in those places and never knew Earth. She looked out at the stars. But they're learning what it means to be human, to be free. And what about the Vraxians? Susan asked. Have we heard anything from them since their leaders were removed? Yes, Alan said. Their new government sent a message this morning. They've asked to meet with us. They want to find a peaceful solution to their genetic problems. Will we help them? Olivia asked. Alan was quiet for a moment. That's not for me to decide. The victims of their experiments will have a say, but I think in time we might. Humans can be angry, but we can also forgive. That's one of our strengths. He looked around the room at the aliens who were now their allies. We've come a long way in a short time. 2 months ago we were alone, trying to protect ourselves from enemies. Now we have friends and a voice in the galaxy. Susan nodded. Because we stood up for ourselves. Because we reached our limit and said no more. And because we didn't just seek revenge when we had the power to do so. Olivia added, we sought justice instead. Outside the window, Earth turned slowly in the darkness of space. But it wasn't alone anymore. Ships from 14 worlds now protected it. Part of the new alliance. And on a small table in the meeting room, the Allied Species Compact glowed softly. The first page in a new chapter of galactic history. The Council had pleaded for talks when they thought they were losing power. Humanity had reached its limit for empty words, but there was no limit to what different species could build together as true partners. As the party ended and the representatives prepared to return to their worlds, Alan looked once more at Earth and smiled. The future would not be easy, but it would be better, and humans would help shape it. Ready to go? Olivia asked him. Yes, Alan said. We have a lot of work to do. Together they walked toward the door, leaving the old ways behind and moving toward a new tomorrow. Twanduri.